got eye goobers.
Good evening and welcome to Waking God's Child YouTube channel. I'm here with my co-host Candy Nelson, and we are
Hi
coming to
guys.
you live from Florida and Texas right here. Um, Tonight's topic is going to be walking through the fire or through the fires with God by your side, which is obviously what we all want to be doing and striving for. Truth be told, that's the only reason we're getting through most of the situations that we're going through right now. I am just saying. So, this, my dears, that's obvious, is it not? So, Candy, how are you doing tonight? And I was first and foremost wanting to ask you that. Everything
I'm
going
doing
well
better
there?
than I was yesterday.
Right. Yeah. I was going to ask if you'd like to share a little update on your own surgery and what's going on with that and the scheduling and bless your heart. You don't have to go into too much depth, but you know what I mean. You want to just let
Yes.
everyone know, and we'll go from there. And then I was going to, while we're doing that, let me just do this really quick. To, you know what? I'll do that after that. I think I'm going to wait. You go right ahead and go into it. Okay, ready?
All right.
Here
Okay.
you go.
So we had did a podcast a few weeks ago where I was telling everybody that I've had implants for since the late 1990s, breast implants, and I knew years ago they were making me sick, and but I just didn't want to convince myself, and so a few years ago I learned about breast implant illness and joined a couple of Facebook groups for that. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I got to get these toxic things out of my body. So if any of y'all have breast plants or implants or know anybody that does, there's some documentaries out about it. One of them is called Toxic Tits, and the other one is called Breast Implant Illness. And then there's one other one, I can't remember what the name of it is right off. But anyway, so I didn't have the money because insurance doesn't cover it, because it's you got them for cosmetic reasons, so you have to pay to have them out.
Right.
So I didn't have the money, so I just said, "Well, you know what? I'm just gonna make an appointment for a consult, get that out of the way, and then I'll just put this in God's hands and let him handle it." So I made the consult appointment back in May, and when I got ready to check out, the girl said, "Well, are you ready to schedule your surgery?" And I was like, "Well, I can't afford it right now, I gotta wait until August until my vehicle's paid off." And so she's like, "Oh, we have Care Credit." So I didn't know what that was, and just a brief rundown, what it is it's an interest-free loan for medical purposes, and it's a credit card. So I applied for it, got approved, and so anyway, even with applying for it, the payment would have been too high, with everything. So I had been saving anyway, so I put some of my money down, cash, and then just had a balance of $4,000 on it, which 18 months interest free would be like 225 a month. I can handle that for 18 months. So anyway, I was like, oh, okay. So we scheduled after I got approved, we scheduled for my surgery, which was supposed to be August 7th. And so right before the surgery, they told me that they had in the process of moving. Well, the new facility that they moved to, they told me was not approved yet for Care Credit. They were in the process of getting it approved. So I would have to reschedule, which I did to the 21st, which is this coming up Thursday. So I got that rescheduled. And so then just yesterday at 4 o'clock, they called me and told me that they had been denied Care Credit. So now I didn't have a way to pay for the surgery. So I started freaking out. I just started freaking out. I just had this major anxiety panic attack, and next thing you know, I was, like, profusely vomiting this clear, rancid bile stuff, and my head was cracking, and I was just like, "Oh, am I gonna do this?" I was so sick that I was just, like couldn't even breathe. I was throwing up so much like I said, it was clear, liquidy, nasty. It was gross. And so, my husband comes home and he looks at me. He's like, "You know what?" He's like, "Don't cancel that appointment. We're gonna figure this out. Just go ahead and
He's so,
get the
so good.
appointment." So I was like, "Oh, thank you, God." So anyway, we're
Yeah,
supposed to be going to the bank on Monday to try to figure out how to pay for this. So anyway, the surgery's still on.
you have
So
been through it. Let me tell you.
yeah, and
You know
so
what? I'm
I
telling you,
I was telling
crazy.
Lisa I was having such an anxiety panic attack about that. My throat hurt me so bad. I mean, I was on the couch all day long today. My head was hurting, my throat was hurting, felt like my chest was gonna crush. I felt like I couldn't breathe. I was just like, "Oh god." And last thing, wanting to smoke too on top of it because I was so aggravated that I wasn't getting the surgery, so, but
That's you went through a lot. That's for sure. That's for sure. I'll tell you what, though. I guess so. Thank you for sharing that first and foremost. And I will be there with bells on the 26th. Now her schedule's good to go. Going to be there to help her with recovery. And I
Oh,
guess
I forgot to tell him that part. I forgot to tell him that part. My husband had a schedule ahead of time to take vacation days for my first surgery. Lisa actually made a reservation for a flight and, a rental car for
the
the
16th.
2nd week after my surgery, and, so when they came back and said that they had to reschedule it, my husband had to go back to his job, ask them to please retract his vacation time, which they don't typically do, and he had to reapply for a new vacation time frame. Lisa had to cancel the flight and the rental car, and so when they told
Reschedule.
me it wasn't approved this time, I was like, "Man, we can't do this again. We can't do this again." That's why I was so freaking out because I was like, "My husband doesn't schedule to take off of work again. Lisa doesn't schedule to
It
fly here
was
again."
it was a journey to say the least. Candy has been on a journey because she's been in this group for a long time, knowing how these women are actually feeling better and they're getting well and not going through all the chronic pain and the misery. And then, I told her, like, there's a will, there's a way. And by golly, wouldn't you know, she figures it out every time. But it's like, it's crazy how Satan works against all of us. It seems like there's a setback. There's always setback, setback, setback. And I know that each and all of us go through many setbacks. Those of us that are suffering now, currently, and suffered in the past and have been suffering, there are setbacks. And just keep in mind that Satan is our biggest enemy, and he will do anything to make sure and ensure that we do not advance, so to speak. It's like a game of chess, except for there's only one king, and that is Jesus Christ. So, and yeah, that's kind of the point I was making too, Candy. Like we walk through fire with these illnesses and these strange emerging illnesses, and it doesn't even have to be that. Like in this day and time, we are living in the days of trials and tribulation in the last days. I mean, it is what it is. You can't be afraid or fearful. The Lord didn't give you a spirit of fear, but we are most certainly in the last days. Plain and simple. But I mean, you don't approach it with a spirit of fear. You embrace it. We no man knows the time or the day. Let's, I'm gonna, because trust me, everyone is always like, yeah, but we don't know. Not even my point. Not even my point. Whether we know or not, we were given the signs to look for. But in the meantime, we are supposed to heal ourselves, heal others, be
Mhm.
the light that shines, and live day by day. And as you all know, I lost my beautiful, wonderful, perfect, amazing aunt, keeping in mind that she and my other aunt that is in also another state were the only two people that ever believed in me, ever. And I mean ever. With especially, oh, sorry, Candy, I don't know what happened there. With
I
Morgellons, there you are.
Yeah, I
So
walked to another room. I'm looking for something I found for you at the thrift store. I'm trying to find it.
I love
Oh, I know
stuff
what I did. I
like
know
when
what
it
I
comes
did
from the
with it.
heart. So long story short, my aunt passed last week, as you all know. That was heartbreaking. She stood by me through thick and thin when my own family here in close proximity, and I'm talking my immediate family, the ones that vowed to love forever, abandoned me in a sense. And, I know they don't think they did, but they did. I mean, when you allow someone to be in pain, suffer, and hurt, and you allow them to be taken, and you allow these things, and you refuse to look and into it and study harder, that's exactly what that is. But guess who didn't? The beautiful aunt that just passed away. And again, I have another aunt that is so loving, so kind, so sweet. And I'm lucky. I'm just so blessed to have her still. But I was so blessed to have both of them, even though they were never here in the state that I was. And I was all alone in this world looking for anyone and everyone that would just listen. I mean, I didn't expect them to heal me, but I just needed a hug. I needed someone to say, while I walk through this fire, you're going to be okay. We need to hear these things. And I think as human beings, we take so much for granted. We forget how to love and how to be kind. And just because we don't understand someone else's journey or whatever they may be walking through the fire in does not mean at all that they are full of poop. I mean, our history has been rewritten. Excuse my French. I'm going to probably lose my voice here soon. Been watching my sweet little cutie grandnephew the last couple of days, but he's had a runny nose and a cough, and I'm feeling like I'm getting it right now. So, but long story short, love is unconditional. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love is not judgmental. I mean, you guys know the 1 Corinthians 13:13. And I think the world has kind of forgotten how to live by those words. Just because we don't understand things does not mean it's not so. And you, my friends in this world that have lived through COVID or anything else, you should clearly by now see that you have been fed a whole heap full of fabricated lies, rhymes with flies, But it's true, right, Candy? It's like walking through the fire is real. We're doing it. All of you out there, you're doing it daily, for that matter. Why am I not seeing anyone on this chat? This is the weirdest thing ever. You realize
Let
that
me show you what I found. Look at. Can you see it?
Oh, it's backwards, but yeah. Oh my goodness. Let your faith
Faith
be
is
bigger.
bigger
I
than your fear.
love
You
that.
always say that, and I was like, oh, and look how big it is.
Absolutely. That is awesome. Oh my gosh, you're gonna love what I got you, which is I'm just gonna park that. It's about like that. No, you know what? I can't wait. I gotta show you now. But I'm bringing it with
I,
me.
I was like, oh my God, let your faith be
I
bigger than your
love
fear. You
that. Be
say
bigger
that
than you.
all the time.
Yeah, the Lord didn't give us a spirit of fear, and we always forget because we're human to let go and let God. That is so beautiful, Candy. That's like I'm gonna make myself cry just thinking about it. It's been a rough week. It's been a rough month. It's been a rough life. It's been rough. And on top of that, I have 4 daughters, as you all know, and tomorrow is my youngest's birthday. And I'm going to cry right now just thinking about it, but she refuses to talk to me at all right now, simply because I told her, because she was being hateful. I offered to help her move. I've tried, and it's like, I get it, because I'm short with my mom a lot too. We get short, we get tired, the world's stressful, we're trying to move, we're trying to do things, and she is trying to move right now. And she's a young adult just going into the adult world, and I'm super proud of her because she has done an amazing job, doing and navigating her way through. But when her aunt passes away, and I'm just like, hey, I put you in the group message, and you're the only daughter I didn't hear from that maybe you could call grandma and see how she's doing, because it's my mom's sister. And this woman, like, she took to me and my kids the second I was alone with children. She was flying in. She was there when my girls were almost lost their lives in that burning car wreck. She flew in. She was there. Like, she was like a second mommy to them and to me from the time I was a newborn. So losing her was devastating, to say the least. And I know it was for all of my daughters. And they wrote these beautiful tributes, including my youngest, on Facebook, just saying how much their Aunt Brenda meant to them. But it's breaking my heart because, like, I'm like, do you need me to help move? I was trying to keep my mind off of things too. I was crying a million tears, holding my head under the covers every night. I still do it. I still do. I'm fighting tears now, but I was just thinking, I want to take my mind off this. And no matter what, I was going to help her move, whatever she needed, and I call and I'm like, well, did you hear about your aunt? Because I mean, honestly, I knew she was busy. I didn't know if she checked her messages. Well, she's like, well, duh. Yeah, of course I did. I'm in the group message. And, I mean, just real short. And so I had called her. I mean, because every time I call, it goes straight to voicemail. Well, she finally blocked me. She blocked me. And I have all my girls' locations because I think it's important, especially in this day and age. But, you know, like for instance, Aunt Brenda died, so kind of important to be able to not only reach out and touch someone, but also have locations. So, my beautiful Shiloh, if you're listening, I say this with all the love in my heart, but I'm saying this for a reason. You can't punish people because here's what happened. Um, she snapped at me hateful. I just lost my aunt, and I know it's her aunt too, but I mean, I started bawling, and I'm like, okay, bye, and I hung up. And then, I pulled it together and I text her. I'm like, I love you more than anything. I've given my whole life doing this, that, and the other. And I'm like, but would it hurt you to be kind and just be, treat your parents with respect? Because I know I used to get my ass beat if I'd ever talked to my mom in any way, such as how most kids speak to their parents these days. And I was married at 19, my first child. I mean, married at 18, first child at 19. I was so much more mature than treating people like that. I would still to this day never speak to my own mom the way my children have spoken and have treated me. And I know you all can relate because anyone that's got children, the millennial style, it's a different world. But growing up, with the three of them, they were like a wolf pack because when I found myself alone, which I always was, even when I was married, because he was in the military, he was gone all the time. But they would gang up. I couldn't even punish them. I couldn't do anything. Like, I would be like, you're grounded, go to your room. And they would just laugh at me and point and just walk out the door, do whatever they wanted. I'm thinking, what is on God's green earth is going on here? My dad would have taken his belt right off of his waist and beat my butt. And if I ran, that belt would hit wherever it hit. And did I feel abused? No, I knew I deserved what was coming. But this day and time, if you so dare raise a hand to a child, they're screaming abuse. And, I figured it out too. Because, Candy, think about this. We know that life, like our parents could do whatever they wanted to us, obviously, in many ways, for some of you and some of us. But we suffer at the hands of men, but we still have this respect that is something we should all have. No matter what, we have to have respect for those that love us, right? And I can't wrap my mind around how, like I said, I can't even blame my kids. They grew up in my house, but we send our babies off to kindergarten at age 5. They're babies. They spend more time in an indoctrinated system. And you guys stay with me here and listen. But I mean, who do you think is molding and shaping these little young minds? It's not us for those little 3 or 4 hours at night that they get off the school bus, some of them riding very late, or hello, me being a bus driver at that time as well, just so I could stay close to my kids, getting home at 6, dinner, bath time, bedtime. Oh, let's do the homework, more schoolwork. You've been at school all day, but let's do some more homework. Night, night, bye, go to bed, get up the next day and do it again. Who do you think molded and shaped them? Because I know how I raised them. I know I did a great job, actually. I'm really proud of my parenting. But I know for a fact that this system, and it is a system, designed it to where those kids were able to go to that indoctrination camp and learn things, and also know that the parents don't have any rights, because all they have to do is say, my parent hits me, my parent beats me, or I am abused. I mean, and quite literally, it's been designed like this. So I'm not shocked, and you guys probably aren't shocked, but I'm pissed off beyond, because it's not okay. It's especially when you love endlessly. And I have done nothing but give to those little girls. Nope, far from perfect, let me tell you, plenty of failures. But the one thing I always put first was my babies, always, always, always. And I mean, I never missed games. I not and this youngest of mine never missed anything for her ever, ever. Coached her basketball, substituted, taught in her classes. I mean, drove her school bus, everything. And it's just heartbreaking that I'm still having to walk through this fire. Also, after having to have something like Morgellons disease, where you're still walking through fire just to live and survive. And then I look at my beautiful aunt and I'm like, she walked through fire with this chronic pain and hurt all the time and the world doesn't understand unless they've gone through it. And they should count their little lucky duckies is all I can say, because most of us here, including you, Candy, and all those that we know, are walking through fire daily. And I guess my big point is I've got over here a little stack of birthday gifts all wrapped pretty, and my daughter blocked me because I texted her and said, would it hurt you to just be kind? Some others are hurting too. Grammy's hurting, maybe. And so so stop showing her location. I have no idea where she is. No, she's starting college in Corpus Christi, Texas. I know I was supposed to help her move, but I got nothing. But you're a dirtbag. How dare you tell me, would it hurt you to be kind? How dare you? I am punishing you. Your privileges of knowing me since I am almost 20, or no, 19, 20. She turned 20 tomorrow, turns 20 tomorrow. So how dare you tell me, because I know everything, you know nothing. And I'm thinking, why would our children punish us? And for what? For what? For loving them too much, maybe? I mean, what is it? I don't know. But I did think I thought I would point that out, because every time I think I'm done walking through the fire, and I know all of you are feeling the same way, feels like we're still walking through more fire right after that. No matter what it is, we are battling something hard every day. We never catch a break. I mean, I work my butt off nonstop. I did it by myself. My kids never hurt for anything because I worked my butt off. Yes, we might have wore thrift shops clothes, here and there because we had to. Not even the point. Love is love. But unconditional love, what happened to that? What happened to that? Just hurts. It hurts so bad. I mean, it hurt already to lose a loved one. It always hurts to lose somebody you love. We all have expiration dates. But I live alone, okay? The one thing I could have used was just a hug, or just a, hi, Mommy, are you doing okay? Or to my mom, that was her sister, and they talked like 6, 7 times a day. I would have killed for my mom and her sister's relationships, They called each other daily. I swear, I couldn't exaggerate if I tried. 6, 7 times a day they talked. And I can't even remember the last time that I got to talk to my sister or brother. Well, my sister maybe once or twice a month if I'm lucky. And not by my choice. And my brother 6 months, once every 6 months. And I would give like both of my arms to have that closeness, to be included, because I want nothing more than to be with them. And I enjoy their children so much. They mean the world to me. And I feel like I'm just, an invisible mess walking through the fire by myself. And on top of that, I'm going to stop there with the poor me, because it's not for me. I manage, but we're human. And I know all of you have your own stories in this fire you're walking through. But I think it's important to know that you don't walk through it alone. And neither do I. We never have. First of all, we do have this very close-knit group of people that do understand. But second of all, God has carried us through every bit of that fire, or we would not still be standing. And it's that simple. I mean, it's so simple. We're dealing with a bioengineered world, a geoengineered world, and and I mean, I identify as this world, and I want to be a unicorn when I grow up. I don't know where I am anymore. Do you guys know? I don't recognize the world. I just recognize that it's coming to a very, very short end here soon. And there's nothing to be afraid of. So I got to show you that what I got you, Candy. Hold on just a second. I'm gonna let you talk for a second, all right?
Okay.
Uno momento, por favor. All
Oh,
right, here
so
we go.
I got to tell you something funny. If you can hear me, Lisa, my daughter
Oh yeah.
tells me the other day. Told me the other day. She calls me up. Hey, and so she says, "Well, she's sitting here telling me about some of her good deeds she did. Well, I did this and I did that, and I'm trying to be a bigger person, a better person." She said, "And not like you had everything to do with it, but I'm trying to be a better person." And I was like, "What?" I was like, "What did you
Was that
mean
like
by
a
that?"
backhanded statement or what? What the heck was that about? For real?
And I'm like, "You're trying to be a better person,
Not that
but
you
I
had
didn't have it."
anything to do with it.
That's what I
Wow,
said, that not that I had anything to do with it. And
that
she
is
said,
nuts.
"No, I didn't say that." She said, "I said you didn't have everything to do with it." I'm like, "What's the difference?" I was like, "Okay, is that a compliment or an insult?"
Basically,
Neither.
what she should have said was you had nothing to do with it. What the heck? It's just I mean, but the world, I mean, the world spends hours thinking about themselves and worrying about what they're going through. What I've found, y'all, and it's a true story, and I've told my children this, and another woman that I've known for a while, and actually her son is marrying my nephew. It's a long story, but I mean, she's been going through a hard time. And when no one else on my sister's side would step up to the plate, which I don't understand. And Stacey, if you're watching, I don't understand that. I don't understand that. None of us should be too busy in our day to stop and reach out to anyone in need or hurting. Like I don't relate. I don't. But I mean, it's okay because the whole world apparently, is that way now. And maybe I'm just the weird one. And I'm okay. I don't mind being the weird one. But what I am going to tell all of you that are hurting, the best way to get over yourself and your own suffering is by reaching out your hand to someone else that needs that help, that doesn't have the strength to get back up. Because we know we're like the soldiers that went through boot camp to get to this point in life where we know, like, we're just how we got here. We know how we got here. God got us here because we have a debilitating illness that most certainly should have killed us, and honestly makes you question how we're still standing, breathing, and walking and alive. Because when your blood turns to gel, your urine turns to gel, how does that pump through the heart? Like, how is that making that heart beat? And I know you guys know what I'm talking about. Any of you that has this, it's obscene, absurd, and it's unheard of. But we do it. By golly, we do it. We do it every day. I don't know what's going on tonight with the comments, but either it's just chain isn't enabled correctly or something. But because I show that we got like 14. Well, we had like 17. We went to 14, and then now it just jumped back up to 16. But you guys comment if you're here. Please comment if you're here.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
I
there's
mean,
no
like, we're
comment.
trying to be alike. Could you be one with us already? You want to see now? You ready? Voila.
What is it? Oh, oh my God. Look at you. That's beautiful.
That the cups that we took for the family reunion. I was
Yeah.
gonna do one of those for you, and I'm like, she's better than family. I'm like, I'm gonna do this. So here it
Wow.
is. So I'll be bringing it to you. I'm a little
So did you
strong.
make it? Did you make it or did you have somebody else make that?
No, I designed it. I designed it. I could have made it, but I don't have the little cup press. But my nephew's wife has it. So I
Uh-huh.
paid her to do the family arena. I designed the cups and paid her to do those too. But
Yeah.
she's so sweet too. She does it she doesn't charge hardly anything.
Yeah.
Ink costs money, but yeah,
Right. And the resin costs money.
right, absolutely. So I mean, I bought all the cups for everyone, even at the family reunion. I told you they're like a little arm and a leg. Not even the point. I wanted everyone to be able to remember that family reunion, like, for everything and all that it was. And you know what? I'm so grateful my Aunt Brenda got to go and share those moments because, I mean, I am going to hold that near and dear to my heart forever because she
Mhm.
was out there playing with the kids in the water, and she had her hat on and her little sunbathing cover up, and she just smiled and giggled and played with the kids. And I am just super blessed to have had her in my life, in our lives. And my kids were, and they know, my kids know they were blessed. They were, again, all four of my girls wrote these beautiful commemorations to her on Facebook. I just, I just wonder if they're going to remember me the same way one day, you know? Gotta wonder. But part of why I say what I do is because I want them to know, like, I've given nothing but my 100 full-fledged unconditional love. So much so that I didn't even get a chance to take a moment for myself. I don't take time for myself. I can't even remember the last time I did something for myself. And it feels good to not do for myself. I would rather do for my children or others. So again, I will say that again, the best way to get over your own suffering when you know you truly are and you're not even sure if you're going to wake up the next day is by stretching out your hand, reaching it out, and extending it to others, because not everyone is equipped with that great strength and or the same strength or any strength. And you know why? Because different walks, different shoes, and none will fit. Those worn and tattered shoes are only going to fit you or them. But if we traded off any of us, they're never going to be the same shoes, because every influence in our lives rely on and reflect from every encounter in our lives from the moment we were in the womb. Babies in the womb can hear everything outside. They come out into the world, whoever they're surrounded by, influences are influences all day long. None being alike, and never will they be. So who are we to judge anyone ever? Like, we don't know what molds and shapes people. Yes, sometimes I get angry whenever people that you can see clearly don't have it hard are complaining. But I just try to be like, you know what? It's okay. God's got you. And I'm like, I mean, because I'm still human too. But I mean, if people only understood that this whole world is suffering in a sense, in different ways. And again, different strengths for different people. Just remember, though, it's Satan's world, and he's going to always try harder on those that are hardest to get. And it's kind of simple, really. I mean, it's literally, it's a no-brainer. Like, he doesn't have to try on too many that are already wrapped up in the materialistic, worldly ways, the self-pleasing. I'm going here, going there, doing for me. I'm stressed. I got to get out. Got to do. Can't remember the last time I got to go do for me, but it's okay, because the best feeling ever. Like, for instance, um, my nephew's going to be wife's mother. She's a beautiful soul, and she's suffering, and she walked in different shoes, and it hasn't been easy for her. I mean, I'm not gonna say like she's had it. Like if I had to compare, I'd be like Candy and I are like, what you have no problem, sweetheart. You've got it easy. But it's not our place to say that. But the point being is, if they can't, they can't. If they need help, they need help. And if this is our church, being the world, and not a building with a sign and a sign-up place to, subscribe to that building of a man-made religion, because the Bible never said anything about that. It said the church of Christ, that is this world, where one or two or more are gathered in his name, he is there. It is not a building. It's not a sign. It's not a sign-up sheet. It is just us coming together, loving, doing, obeying, and trying every day. And like I said, big sinner here. Big sinner. I say like bad words all the time. I think thoughts like, I hope you fall down whenever you go out that door, I mean, we're thinking the things, but did I say that? I mean, the thing is, we're human, and he knows we are. And a big portion of his disciples were. The men that hung on the cross beside Jesus were thieves and murderers, and he forgave them, and he forgives us. But we're nobody unless we're loving everybody or somebody or doing the right thing, no matter how bad we hurt. This is temporary. It's a temporary hurt, and it won't last forever. And my beautiful auntie right now, smiling down, and her pain is gone, and I'm so happy that she doesn't feel that anymore. No tears in heaven, no sorrow given, and all will be glory in that land. So just remember, no good soldier doesn't go through boot camp before going to war. That's us. And Satan's going to work harder on you if you're hardest to get. That's us. And many of you that I don't even know. I wish I did. And also, we still got to love the ones that hardly love back, I guess. No matter what, we love them. We love them because that's what 1 Corinthians 13:13 is all about. Unconditional, unwavering, thorough love. Like everything I wasn't shown at my sickest point. So, and I decided right then and there, well, I always knew that, but that's what I don't want to be like. How I was treated. It was a horrible feeling. And I would never want anyone else to have to feel that. It's suffering. It is suffering. And Candy, you have suffered so much and way more than I could even complain about. And you still wake up with a smile on your face every day. And you and I still cut up and laugh over the stupidest things that we probably shouldn't be laughing at. But we do because you get one moment to laugh, one chance to laugh, one life to live here. And there's no redos, but we don't want to change the road behind us. We shouldn't want to, even though it was rough and super rough, Candy. I get that. But here's the thing. Every time I think I want to rewrite my story, the one that God's already written, turn that pencil around and erase some of it and then put in another, line of how it didn't go. I forget that if we do that, we're taking away the beautiful, beautiful, precious points in life that led us to Him. And we may not have got there like we are now if we didn't have those horrible moments, because they molded us and shaped us into warriors, into loving warriors for that matter. And they led us directly to our beliefs in and the trust and that blind faith that we all have to have. And you can feel it. It's not even like it's a guess, like you could feel it. It's just hard to fathom, but He's there. He's real. And so are demons, let me tell you. I have seen them.
Yeah,
So,
me too.
right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. But
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
you're a
Well,
living example.
the funny part, right? Okay, I didn't tell y'all this earlier, but when I was so sick yesterday, thought I was dying. Guess what? I told Lisa afterwards. I was like, that was the greatest gift God could have given me. Because guess what? I took a couple drags off of a cigarette, and I was like, oh, if my surgery
I
is
would.
not canceled, and I'm like, if I fail this test, and I'm like, you know what? I think all that profuse vomiting was God's way of getting that couple of drags off that cigarette out of my system because
You're
I
like,
tested
girlfriend, you
negative.
worked too hard for this,
I
right?
know. I was just like, what the hell? Oh my God, I screwed up again. So I told her, I was like, yeah, see, God even takes care of dumbasses, you know? I'm like, we were
Hello.
laughing about it, but I was so
Yeah.
sick. And I was like,
Gator is
but
here.
again,
Hi,
yeah, but
Gator.
again, it was so funny because I was like, oh my God, I was so sick, but I was like, thank you, God.
He see whatever, and there's your example. He has this beautiful way of looking out for us, even if it's like through a vomiting bile, like way. Gator says, "I'm sorry, but I got jammed up, but now I'm here." Hello, I've missed you, Gator. I hope you're doing okay and feeling well, and your wife is feeling well. So we have Gator that's
Hey, Gator.
uncommented. Nothing to see that, but I'm so glad you're here, and thank you. I'm sure I'm sure he could probably tell you a thing or two about this bumpy ride of life as well. Actually, I know he could, because anyone that is doing videos or being inquisitive or asking questions or digging deeper or reaching further, they know. They know. Hi, Argo. I didn't even see Argo's here. Thank you. Thank you. I'm so
Hey,
glad we
Argo.
don't feel alone anymore. It is a lonely world sometimes, let me tell you. I have
Uh,
Candy though. I can just reach out and touch whenever I want. Thank goodness she's so great about that. And Argo too. Argo too. By the way, well, I haven't touched any of you, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Like if I
you
were to
be
poke
touching
you,
me
that
next week. I'll be
right?
touching out you next week.
I mean, yeah, exactly. I'll be taking care of your boo boos. That sounded
Yeah.
really weird. Your boo boos are like owies, but that sounded
Hey,
weird.
I'm
You're
like,
picking up.
every time I go to the store, I keep thinking, like, man, I need to buy that box of condoms and a plastic bat and some darts so we can like,
We'll have something fun to do.
right?
Oh, you
Use them
just
for
wait.
pinatas. Oh,
I've already got
pinata from the
some
tree.
things. I already got some things lined up and thought about for that. Let me tell you. So you might just be surprised.
Oh,
Just make sure you take those home. You know, say I
so
paid a lot of
hopefully,
money for these. Those are going home with me.
right. So hopefully, the next day after you get here is dollar day. So hopefully I'll have the strength and the energy and let you go dig at the dollar bin for me at the bin store.
No, I'll do it. No, I will dive in head first. I
Yeah.
certainly will.
Yeah. So
I'm
Wednesday's
telling
dollar
you,
day. We got to hit it.
I'm there. I'm there. I just I'm still here though, but I mean, you know what I mean. So, you know what? That's funny that you said that though, because I don't know anyone who's anyone. I would still go to the thrift store or the bin store any day over the week. I'm watching these people walk into these like fancy stores, coming out with their little clickety clock clock heels, going with my little handbag that's like $3,000, and I'm like, well, that's gonna last you about 5 minutes. Good luck with that. But you know, like I guess that's not anything to people like that. But that goes back to that's why people don't have an appreciation when you can have everything, it leaves nothing left to appreciate, right? Hello, Paul. Says at least I'm not
Well,
alone. My oldest is also living on resentment. Resentment Avenue. Oh my gosh, let me tell you. Well, I went through it with all four of mine, but they're growing up. They're slowly growing up. Thank goodness. But he says it's a one way, and the arrow is pointing directly at a you. That's me. That's me. This generation has absolutely no clue, and no, they don't. They do not, and I don't even think they know what it feels like to want or hurt or actually know real trouble. Again, not saying there's no bumpy roads. I mean, my youngest, obviously had me. She grew up without her father. It was always me. And the oldest two, even, I mean, they all grew up, but her whole life was like that. But I made up for. I was mother and father. I coached basketball. I never missed it. Like I tried to step into and fit every pair of shoes that I possibly could. And then when he walks back into her life recently, out of nowhere, I am just chopped liver, and it's okay though. It's okay. I never wanted anything other than for her to be happy, feel happy, and know that she's loved. And if that takes, like her father walking back in and her getting that love there, I'm okay with sacrificing her hating me just so she can have that from wherever she needs to get it. It just hurts a little. I'm just saying
yeah.
because I
I
carry
had
her
those.
for
Well, I had
myself.
those same thoughts earlier today when I was thinking about my granddaughter and her relationship with her bio dad, and I'm like, you know what? As long as she's happy, that's what matters. That's what matters.
Yeah, I mean, it is. I mean, I want mine to be happy, but here's the other thing that bothers me. I want them to be happy, and I sacrifice my own happiness. Well, obviously, have forever, but I also want them to enter through the gates of our eternal home, and that's what will always scare me the most, and hurt me the most, and like I can't force them. I can't force anyone. I can't even force my family to believe anything I say, even though everything I've said has quite literally within like 3 to 4 months later, like, oh yeah, there are, these trailings up there. Oh yeah, there is
Mhm.
more Allen's disease. Oh yeah, there are some unidentifieds up there, by golly. I got sent away to the cuckoo house for literally telling the truth. And they're like, bye, Felicia, take her. She's crazy. They taught me in 1 Corinthians 13:13. Love is patient, love is kind, and it's unconditional. But you know what? You got a little cuckoo lease. You're going to the cuckoo house. So, and they let
It
me.
don't
Get
it
drugged
don't
up for
apply to you. Hey, that don't apply to you.
It's just crazy, right? That did it,
You're
right?
not on that list.
I'm telling you, it's been a crazy ride, but I wouldn't, and I will go back to, I wouldn't trade that ride. Even like, I mean, what, we've almost died, both of us, like 3 or 4 times in the hospital with these crazy, crazy sicknesses that shouldn't happen. This crazy illness that's worldwide affecting millions. Yeah, nobody believes it's real. It's like, oh yeah, it's just like a freaking huge, like worldwide psyop, a mass psychosis. Like, come on, you guys are stupid. You just went through COVID wearing muzzles on your damn face. What the? You just want to shake them and just be like, wake the living Lord up right now. Like, what is wrong? But you know what? We know why they're blind because, well, heavy metals are real. Aluminum, strontium, barium, all of these heavy metals, that it affects us. It affects us. How many of you cannot tell me your memory is like worse than ever? And I'm not talking from age either. Like, I can't remember hardly anything. And how many of you do not realize that this time is flying much faster than it ever went by? It's going by so fast. It's like you wake up, you get out of bed, and before you know it, the day is already done. And it is not because, oh, I'm just getting older and life's moving on and I'm like holding on. No, I'm not holding on, or I'm getting older, but I'm not that stupid. But I mean, like, literally, the time has sped up somehow. I don't care what you'll say, the time goes by in the blink of an eye. And there's not enough hours in the day. And yes, I get it. It's like, well, now we have more access to things like internet and TV and cell phones and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that will make the time that passes time. But I'm not talking about things that pass time. I'm talking about actual time. It's a whirlwind. It has sped up. It's like you blink, you miss it. Gator says, oh, you haven't been feeling well. Still under attack. Yeah, holding us hostage. Gator, I am so sorry you're going through that. I feel you way more than you know. Way more than you know. I mean, I'm not the girl that ran to Mexico over it almost. So I am going to say some prayers and lift you and your family up. Your sickness is very real, very real. And I'm going to tell your family the same as I told mine. Shame on you all, because love is unconditional and it is patient and it is kind. And just because we don't understand things does not make it not so. The thing is, we believe everything that's been shoved down our throats by memorizing a book written by another man. Never have any of us done the studies, never have any of us went to space, which is a far-fetched space. Um, Never have any of us done any of these things. We only merely memorized. We sat in a desk being obedient little soldiers. We were conditioned and indoctrinated, and our families were as well. So I went through this process of almost, I have PTSD over my family to this day. I mean, my heart is so broke. But here's the deal. I went through this process of like, I don't ever want to talk to any of them again. I just want to leave and disappear off the face of the earth. No, not suicidal ever. That's not within me. But then I got to this point where I decided what they couldn't give me, I would give to them 5 times fold. So I had to forgive and I had to love them. And trust me, it is not easy to even just, it's hard. It's hard because when they hurt you that bad and they call you a liar where you've never lied, you have no reason to lie, especially to make something up so senseless as to the senselessness that's happening to the human body. Unfair, it's cruel. And keeping in mind, like fibromyalgia came out years ago, nobody believed in that, right? My mom was one of the earlier fibromyalgia people, and when the world's poking fun at her, we're still hugging her and loving her. My dad's still loving her super hard. My dad was the first to throw me under the bus and say, "Bye, Felicia, you're unworthy." So, you do the math, but then you also know, like, they never acted like that before growing up. Like, I wasn't taught like that, wasn't raised like that. So then you have to start wondering what's wrong with their minds. And when you arrive at that point where you start realizing like something is affecting and controlling some of their thoughts, and because it is, The Bible clearly says this is Satan's world. He's the ruler and the leader and the principalities of evil here on earth, in the air, and all around. And it is blatant that he is the ruler here. And it also is clear that heavy metals, cause of Alzheimer's, dementia, and we're all having memory problems and short-term memory loss, and we're all having brain fog. Like I'm having brain fog. I think everyone is. If you say you're not, tell me what you're having, and we'll meet for dinner. But the thing is, like, our families are being affected by the system and by the toxins and by the bioengineering and the geoengineering and the nanotechnology, along with a little bit of HARP, along with a little bit of a, what do you call, like, not Havana syndrome, but you get what I'm saying. Like, the EMPs are real,
Mhm.
folks. Frequencies are real, and if they're beaming 2 at a time, you can make a human literally go into a high school and shoot them, Elizabeth, if you get my drift. Like, quite literally. I mean, these people don't just wake up, Columbine or wherever. They don't just wake up and they're like, you know what, today I just feel like going in and shooting it all up. That's not, that's, I don't, I'm just telling you, it's not something those people decided. They are gluttons for punishment for sure. But there's something going on, and mind control, MK Ultra, it's all there. Patents are there. It's just that we have lazy ass people that don't want to look it up, don't want to believe it, much less look it up. Then you show it to them like, let me do the hard work for you. Ta-ta! Here you are, right there. Read it. They're like, I see it. I don't believe that. It's like, but you're gonna turn on like Channel 2 News or Fox News or CNN or whatever, and they're all like puppets going the same thing, and you're like, yeah, no, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, boo them or boo that. It's just like, you guys, it's a puppet show. It's a puppet show. All the world's a stage, and every man and woman merely players. You're welcome. But they don't listen. But you know what? We don't stop trying either, because our job, the whole reason and purpose of us being here, and Candy, I know you know this because you're every day reaching out, every day trying to like be the light. That's our purpose here. We are here to shine a light, to reach out our hands where others would not, where others forgot about us, disbelieved us, belittled us, shunned us, left us for dead. I mean, we could all raise our hands right there. It's okay. We got broad shoulders. We had God walking with us. We don't have to see him. We know he's there because we wouldn't be standing right here and right now. There's no way in heck we would be standing if he didn't carry us through that. And he carried us through that because there's a whole lot of people, a whole world out there that needs us and needs to be reminded and needs shown. And it's not too late. It's never too late, but it can be too late here pretty soon. And again, you don't have to know the time or the day, because all the signs, you can start checking them off your list. They're present. They're present. Candy, can you read a few of those comments, if you don't mind?
Sure.
I'm going to let you do that from your end.
Okay. Okay. Well, Paul says, at least I'm not alone. My oldest is also living on Resentment Avenue, and it's a one way, and the arrow is pointing directly at me. And this generation has absolutely no clue. You're absolutely right. I'm scratching my head like, what did they just say? I'm like, what? And then Argo says, now I would welcome a 3-day vacation complete with good drugs. Yeah, me too. I'm like, oh,
Crazy.
shoot.
Well, trust me, that
Uh,
30-day vacation is like, you're just
then
like, you
Gator's
want
like,
people actually need to be there, and you're like, where the hell am I? What's going on?
Gator's like, my family has denied our sickness, proclaiming we are Coco also. Time
You are
is so
so
fast
not
for us. It's
family. We'll
crazy.
figure it out.
Uh, thank you for your prayers, and you also, and Candy. We watch all your past shows to gain knowledge at least once a month. so, so that it's been, I've been fasting this past week, and I've expelled a lot of them, but now it's not really working too well. They have settled in our joints head to toe, and we feel them moving all day and all night. Oh, God,
So
so sorry
again,
about
I'm
that.
gonna go with get you some fenbenzynol from Tractor Supply or your feed and tack store. I use the one for horses. I am not a physician, nor am I giving any type of medical advice. I am just saying what I have done. But yeah, so toothpaste size of that little, it's like in a little
Hey,
tube.
Gator, have you ever heard of Tony Pantescalero's anti-nano device bucket? Um, well, I mean, I'll just give y'all, everybody else,
I,
in case you
I
haven't,
wouldn't use it.
a brief rundown on that. What it is you take duct tape and you put it on the outside of a 5-gallon bucket with the sticky part out, and then you take copper wire and you wrap it around the bucket all the way from the bottom to the top on the outside, and then you cover that in duct tape again, and you at the end of the coil you attach um, a battery for a laptop with a plug to the coil wire, and then what it does is you soak your feet. I mean, I've soaked my hands and my arms in it too, but I've had a few fiascos with my face with it too, and my hair. But anyway, so you put like trying to remember what all goes in there. I think some vinegar, um, water. I think it's like 1 gallon of vinegar and 4 parts water. You can put little borax in there, um, some essential oils, some Epsom salt, and anyway, you plug that in and you soak your feet and your legs in it. And oh my gosh, I did a live video of the soak that I did, but you could actually see gobs and gobs and gobs of the fibers just floating around in the water. It was crazy.
Or
But
just take
so,
the bath in vinegar, 30% vinegar and water diluted, obviously. You'll see that same thing. Or if you're me, go grab an electric fence out there for the cows, hold on to it for just a second because you can't hold on to it any longer. It'll throw you back about 5 feet. You get back up and you do it again. Okay, I said that. Do not do that. I have done
well,
that. So
yeah, I'm
the
actually
trying
wondering too if you did an Epsom salt mixture like that in a 5-gallon bucket and just put magnets down inside the bucket in the water,
I've done that.
what that might would do, because I
I
know
sleep
the
with
copper
magnets in my
wire
bed.
goes on the
Yeah.
outside, and then you're adding electricity to it with the bucket that Tony talks about. But I have one of those buckets. Somebody
You
gifted me
gotta
one,
You got to
and
understand though, that is not gonna. It's just temporary help though. Is the deal with that, right? Because like the
well, but
magnets is because I sleep with it, but the second I get back out of bed, like I put on my copper bracelets, and then I have the big I bust the big magnets out of the old stereo
well,
speakers.
I know you saw that video where my leg was like 10 times the size of what it was supposed to be, and I soaked it in that bucket, and
And
those
they
just
came out like
gobs and
crazy.
gobs of fibers. It was crazy. And then one time I was actually preparing the bucket to soak my feet in, and my hair was over top of the bucket, and I was leaning, and you could see in the video my hair turned blue, and it wasn't even nowhere near the water. I mean, it was like blue, blue.
Yes. I guess what I was trying to tell Gator though, right earlier, that's kind of a long thing to do and a long way to go about things. But if you start like, and I mean this because I am like this now. I stress. I still have lesions, but and not. I don't have the creepy crawlies like I did. And it. I will say I have tried. There's nothing I have not tried except for the bucket thing because it just seemed like way too much nonsense when there was other things that were working for me. But you got to remember you got to change it up, change your protocol up. They
Yeah,
literally they'll conform every time. They'll conform.
yeah.
You keep them on their toes. But the fin bends and all, and I'm just saying this because this is I'm gonna just show y'all. I mean, this is why I am not like I was, and I'm gonna show you through my phone. I could put it up on the screen, but it'll take me forever. But I mean, this is the only reason that, or maybe I'm not.
Mm,
No, I am. But I mean, literally, like that has been a lifesaver. Right now, I'm taking doxycycline because I have to change it up. And I literally went to Oregon with like huge bulging like cysts on my forehead. Um, hello,
mm,
Pissy Pixie, I love it. There are a lot of things you can do. Just think outside the box. By the way, methylene blue, I recently did that and it works for a while. You just got to keep changing it. And keep in mind that
Mhm.
there are ways to do those things. Don't just try to guess your way through it because too much is too much. But there are all sorts of things. Candy makes great salves that are super helpful. Turmeric is awesome. Um, this the soap, the sulfur soap. You can buy those at Walmart. They're like 30 something. They used to be 30 cents a bar. Now they're like $2 or $3. But Candy, like like all those salves. But I'm telling you, internally, what helped me a lot, especially the first time, I would alternate between the fenbenzonol and the ivermectin. Toothpaste size, one day one toothpaste size, second day one toothpaste size, then yeah, don't touch it again for a month, and do not mix them ever. You're gonna do it again the next month, and alternate, but don't take one of one and one of the other ever. So you gotta be smart about these things. But I am not a doctor, so I'm not gonna tell you. But I'm trying to show you guys here. Like I went from, like I don't know. You can't hardly see
You
that,
gotta
but
move it over a little bit. Yeah, move it. Yeah, there you go.
you can't even hardly see
Yeah.
it on there. But here was my neck. It was like, you know what? Did you see that? I
Oh,
mean, I was.
yep,
That's
you can
I'm
see
not
it.
even doing it justice. Yeah, no, these are nothing. It looks like light on there, but I was dying. I knew I was dying. But I mean, it was all over my face. Like there was my arms. I was covered head to toe. My eyes would swell shut. Um, I mean, I'm telling you, I knew I was dying. There was nothing. No, I mean, you can feel your body dying. You feel it. This was one day I tried even like oregano, and by the way, oregano. They hate oregano, but recently I discovered the I bought the 30% vinegar, so I got the huge gallon of it. It also clears the clouds above. Don't believe me? I'm telling you it does. When I say clouds, I have to say clouds if you get my drift. But
Clouds with
I,
lines.
those lines that stay there a long
Yeah,
time and don't
yeah.
evaporate like they should, the ones that are from hot air hitting the cold, they say and they should happen only at like 30,000 feet, but you're seeing them at 6,000 and they're staying there. Yeah, those lines. Yeah, vinegar helps with those too. But
Hey, let me tell them about something else too, really, really quick. Dollar General has these little in the toy section where they have little cheap toys, but there's a 2-pack of these really super heavy magnets. And so I took those magnets one time, right? And so they're probably about 2 inches long and they're real heavy and they're like oval shaped. But I took a bunch of them and like put them all the way around my wrist when I had that huge lesion on my arm. And I used gauze to wrap them and keep them in place as I was going. But I had put these magnets all the way around my complete wrist. And the next thing you know, it's like I could feel stuff like moving up underneath my skin. And I could feel it moving up to my elbow. And then it moved up my forearm. And I'm like, it got up into
what
my
is going
shoulder.
on? Yeah,
And I started like freaking out because I was like, I don't know, but you know what? Guess what? This stuff is running from whatever is going on in there, but it's gonna like run straight to my heart. That's
yeah,
what I was thinking,
I felt it
and
do it actually.
I felt it moving and it was in transit and it was running. And I was like, it's either going to my heart or my brain, which is not going to work out too good. I need to, and I freaked out. I started like panicking and trying to get it off of me as just as quick as I could because it scared me that bad.
Yeah, it is. It's
But
terrifying.
magnets, will cause a reaction too, and I've
Yeah,
actually
that's
put
why I
them around my
sleep with them
ankle.
under. Yeah, take them out of an old speaker. I put them under my mattress, under my pillow. I don't always. But Gator, where you are right now, hold on just a second. I guess I should like take. There we go. So where you are right now, and you're saying, you're trying to do the diet, the detox, and all that. I'm going to tell you straight up, right here and right now. I did not do these major detox. I refuse to do that. I eat whatever I want, still to this day. And I am telling you, just from my own experience, the second I used ivermectin is what I used first. I'm just saying, like, that's where I first started with my sleep. Like, you saw those photos, you couldn't even really see them in their full. I was maimed, I was marred, and you guys could clearly see that. And I still get them, but there's a huge difference. And I'm going to tell you right now, that is from taking that internally, especially that. I mean, I did the Morgellons Direct, the potassium iodide drops. And that helps somewhat. And again, it's about changing it up. But I'm talking about like real fast, effective stuff was the fenbenzanol and ivermectin. It's like it's fast, and you will notice it. But I mean, I was where you all were, like, you're in this horrible place where you can feel it, and it's just everywhere. You can see your house in motion, even on the inside. You can see this. It's almost like an energetic field around you and all over. It was what it looks like. And keep in mind that that's technology, nanotechnology, especially, and you're dealing with graphene, you're dealing with biofilm, but you're dealing with a combination of geoengineered organisms, as well as, a fungal. There's a fungal component. Keep in mind, a fungus it's intelligent. I mean, it's a network, and it builds a fungal network, which is what they're, in my own opinion, is trying to be built throughout our bodies. And this is part of their transhumanism agenda. And I mean, I could go into depth. I could show you guys so many patents that, are out there that clearly shows that this is going on. But I mean, they're trying to change us into human 2.0. It's a no-brainer, because human 2.0 cannot go above with our Heavenly Father either. So Paul says, my saving grace when I was in full-blown distress was raw potassium iodine. Yeah. Yes, it saved my life, gave me. So, and you know what I'm finding too, Paul, and also Gator? It's like what might work for one person better. Now, keeping in mind, we're not cookie cutters like this world seemingly thinks. We all got to go to school and then sit in the same class and make the same grades. We're not. We are all engineered by God differently. And so what might work for one may not work as well for the other. But I mean, you just keep trying. But the potassium iodide, I have some drops now. I went from taking the Morgellons Direct, which I do not believe in buying from him. By the way, anyone that's trying to make money off of this just pisses me off to no end, like quite literally. I mean, things cost money. It costs money to make these things, but they could just give you the recipe, because that's easy to do too. So just keep that in mind, that you can make your own potassium iodide. And what you said, Paul, yeah, it's a saving grace for many. And what's good for the goose isn't always good for the gander, but it doesn't matter. There's ways to go about this. Changing my diet did not matter. You got to remember, like Candy says, nothing is organic anymore anyway. Like she was trying to educate people in the grocery store. I know nothing's organic anyway, but she was, trying to educate people. They had no idea what GMO meant. They're not your ABCs, folks. That's genetically modified organisms. But the problem is, nothing is uncontaminated now, because if it's coming down from above, it's affecting everything down below. The air you breathe, the water you drink, the water the animals drink, the hay that they eat, the grass that they eat. Like there's no such thing as non-GMO at this point. We're well past that. And we knew we would be, except for some just don't see it yet. But it is what it is. And honestly, the real thing that's going to get any of you through this, and the only thing that's gotten Candy and I both through this, I guarantee you, is faith in God and just believing in him, because there is no magic wand, but we're still walking, talking, and breathing. And I know for a fact that none of those things took it away from me, might have relieved it. It's still here, but I just know we should be dead, honestly. Like I said, when I was in the hospital, the nurse is like, oh my gosh, come here. They're calling a million doctors in there, like trying to take my blood. Her blood is turning to gel, her urine's gel. Like, blood's got to be free flowing to go through your heart. Your heart is what keeps you alive. So trying to picture a gelled blood going through your heart any of us that are like us know we shouldn't be alive right now. We shouldn't be living, but we are. And that is not because of anything we did for ourselves. That's because of the grace of God. That's it. So I would suggest mainly, especially, aid yourself with things to ease that, but go to your heavenly Father, because I'll tell you what, that that literally was when my life started changing. And again, it didn't make this go away, but my eyes were open. I didn't feel alone. I felt healing of the spirit, because the body's temporary anyway. And none of us should be walking around anyway, but we are. So that means we're here to stay for a while. We got work to do. So, I guess that's the way I got to say it. But Candy, I know it's late. I love you. I think this was a good, good talk. Good talk. It was a good podcast. I think we all just need to lean more on one another, but especially our Lord. And I am just very blessed to know each of you, and I'm so grateful for all of you. And Paul, thank you for joining us tonight. I hope to see you more. We try to do this every Friday. It's iffy. I'm a private investigator, so I am constantly working. But we try. We try. So if you just kind of subscribe and hit the notification button, if you haven't already, it'll hopefully alert you. Maybe it'll alert me. I'll be like, oh, late for my own podcast. Be right there. So,
Yeah.
but
Well,
yeah,
it's funny. Paul says, he says, thank you so much. I never ever thought it would ever go away. However, I still live as if it could come back anytime, but pray to God it doesn't. I was telling Lisa the other day, you know what? I've got like two scooters here. I've got a knee scooter. I've got every type of medical device you could ever imagine putting your hands on because I was so messed up and I didn't have those things when I needed them. So it's like when I see them now and the price is right, I buy them because I'm like, man, if I ever got like that again, I'm gonna need this, you know. So it's like, so I've got all this medical equipment here, and it's just everywhere, and I'm like, but I never know because again, even with medicine and stuff like that, my husband gets flustered because there's so much here. But I just know that what I use to help me get rid of those lesions and all those rashes and everything, that I don't want to throw anything away because it's, again, it's something you never forget. And it's like, if it ever comes back, I want to have what I need to get rid of it, or even
yeah.
share with somebody else,
Well, I
and
think I'm like way past that part, honestly.
well,
Next to
Lisa,
that,
I
like
mean,
I just no,
oh
no,
my
no, no,
God.
no. Like now I'm at the prep part. Like I'm at the prepper where I'm keeping everything because I'm prepping.
Right, right. And
So
it's
all of
like,
that, like you, I'm
I'm like,
prepping.
I don't want to throw anything out because it's like, oh my God.
Yeah,
And some of y'all don't know, but the lesions I had on my body, I mean, I had one as big as a tennis ball on my arm that was about half an inch thick, and it was covered my entire wrist area. It took me over 10 years to get rid of that. I had lesions on my leg that was like as big as golf balls that went all the way down to my bone. And, I had to figure out how
I've
to
seen
fix
so
that
many
stuff
like
myself, and full body rashes and just god awful. And I'm like, nobody ever should have to go through that ever.
yeah, and that's
It's
how we all feel
insanity.
when we're going through it. Like we're on our deathbed, literally, and we're looking at ourselves. My family looked at me like nothing was wrong. And I mean, like you could physically see. I mean, I cry when I look at my old pictures for myself, and it's not because I'm sorry for myself. I'm like, oh my gosh, who can survive this?
Yeah,
You learn to love yourself when no one else will, but you do. But that's how people aren't right in the head because they should see it. But I'm telling
yeah.
you right now,
Well,
the only thing we should prep for is our souls because
and
that's the
and
most.
again, I mean, everybody saw all those fibers that just God's handfuls poured out of my
Mm,
leg. And my family's
yeah,
acting like nothing was happening or I was making this stuff up. So, I opened up my Facebook and I went public. I put it out on Facebook. So what's my daughter say? Yeah, why are you putting that out there on Facebook?
yeah, and well, mine
Because
still don't. None of mine believe. My
Well,
aunt Brenda
because guess what?
said.
If y'all don't believe me, it's not for you. Then it's to help somebody else. So guess what? You don't like it? Don't go to my Facebook. I don't
Yeah,
care.
exactly. I don't know. It is heartbreaking though, and it does hurt. Like I am like beyond. We already know there's something going on with the human body, and those around us that don't believe. I firmly believe that these heavy metals are affecting them as well. And again, it's Satan's world. This is spiritual warfare at its finest. So, I really think that we are, well, it's not that I think, I know, because as soon as I started going through this, started seeing the stuff in the sky, like you start seeing the world for what, once you see it, you cannot ever unsee it. Like when it hit me, like mountains were actually ancient biblical trees. I'm not saying every flipping mountain, for goodness sakes, but it's pretty dang obvious that that's what it was. And it's pretty dang obvious they've twisted our history, our truth. It's pretty dang obvious that they conditioned us starting at the age of 5 to read in a book and memorize, not learn. That's not learning, that's memorization. It's pretty obvious that the Illuminati card game was made in 1994, but every single major event that happened after 1994 are on those cards. It's just like 1 plus 1 is 2, and 2 plus 2 is 4, and it keeps going on, and people are blind, but they're also bogged down with nanotech and heavy metals and mind control. They didn't put that baby to rest with Kennedy. I'm just saying they just perfected it. That's all. People don't realize it, but it's working. Let me tell you, it's working. It worked on my whole family. Yep, just said that. Except for my 2 aunts. I love them, love them, love them so much. I'm so blessed to have them. Well, have had them. Again, minus one now, but not for forever, because we will all be together again one day, very soon. I assure you, very soon. Jesus is coming, so praise the Lord, and I can't wait. I look forward to that day when we're all in that place where there's no more pain or sadness. Till then, though, y'all, we got work to do. Got to let those lights shine. And just remember, while you're hurting, just reach your hand out to someone else, because God's going to pull us both up. For
And
real.
please, 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 everybody pray for me. Thursday is my surgery day.
Monday, I go in for mine. Mine is on the oral side. But yes, I have been praying for you so long, because I'm like,
I
this
know.
woman is like, she's trying. She's trying. It is going to work. Lord God, we're going to make this work. I know it's going to work. Thank you. Thank you for making her throw up.
I'm
That's a weird
so
thing to say.
excited. Right, right.
I can't
It's
wait
like,
to
oh,
see
thank
you
you,
though.
God. Yeah. Well,
I really am
hopefully,
proud of you.
like I said, they say it's easier when they come out than putting them in. So hopefully I'll have some energy and we won't just have to be sitting around here on a pity party.
But pulling
I
them
don't
out,
want a
you're just
pity
pulling
party.
the sack out, putting them in. That's when you're stretching the muscle over and making that skin where it
I just
should
want
be
to have
going.
some good quality time together while you're here. That'd
I
be
can't
nice.
wait. I'm gonna give her some pretty French braids in her hair. I'm gonna make her some very bland food, because that's what she's gonna need. I'd love to actually cook for you my way, but you went to our family reunion, so you know how we cook. We cook hot, spicy, and more spice
Yeah.
the better. I'm honestly not gonna lie. I don't know how to eat bland food at all without crying. So, but I am gonna make it for you, whatever you need.
Oh, no,
So,
believe me, Georgia's got every spicy, saucy, crappy,
sausage.
imaginables, whatever you can put on anything in there. And that's
Well,
not
like
me,
I said,
but
it's not about me. I just can't wait to be
oh,
there, and I want to see you flip up.
he's got a whole refrigerator full, sister girl.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah,
I
because I
call him
love
uh I
spice.
call him Captain Rocket Gut.
That's me. I mean, like I drink jalapeno juice anytime I get like a headache or heartburn. Like it actually helps, believe it or not. Like if you get a Charlie horse, go drink you some pickle juice or jalapeno juice. It works like a charm every time. But plus I just like it. That's weird, huh? But I mean, I could literally live off of
Yeah.
jalapenos and
Now, I
just
do partake of that pickle juice.
yeah, I mean that really is a fact. Well, this it goes back to vinegar, and on us, vinegar is a real deal here, folks. Vinegar is your friend in many ways. You can put it topically, always dilute, especially topically. Not me though. I go hardcore. I'm like, oh, that freaking burns. I'm screaming through the house, and then I'm like, okay, I'm a little better.
Fire with fire, baby.
drinking it like you have no idea, but it does work. And the bath water, it really, I mean, it keeping in mind that most of this is in your dermal layer. But when you've had it years, like some of us, Candy and I, you know that it eventually will work its way into you, because you can feel it in your internal organs. But again, we should be dead, and we're not. Probably most of you should too. So that means God isn't finished. And never say never. Just have no quit, have no fear, and keep fighting and keep going and keep lighting up the way, because that's what we're here for. We're in the flipping fight. We're not leaving. We got a job to do. So I love you, Candy Nelson, my little beautiful girl there. Can't wait to see you guys. And George, I haven't met him in person, but I can't wait to see you guys. Can't wait to see Candy. She's just the best. She's just the best. But George is pretty cool because he loves. Let me tell you what, that man has worried about his wife. Like, you have no idea. He's just like, oh. But finally, this last time, like you said, he's like, we're gonna figure it out, because he loves her and he's gonna do what he needs to do to make sure.
Like,
So,
oh
and I
no,
love
she
her
didn't
too.
say that. Oh no, she didn't say that. Oh no, she didn't do that. Oh God, you can't do that. Yes, I can.
She's like, you want to hold my beer and watch this
Watch
crap.
me. Watch me.
Hold on, back that butt up. We got this. Yeah, no, Candy's diehard. I love it. She's like me. I think that's why we clicked so, like, from the very beginning, and we found each other obviously through one of my stupid videos. But I mean, I was like, God puts people together for a reason. I mean, we all come together. We don't know each other, none of us really, but here we are, all of us, because He knows those that need to be together, because that's where the strength is. That's where the strength is, and we are enforcing that force of God right now. So we've got this, guys. And I love you. Love you all very much. And I pray you all have a beautiful evening. Happy weekend. And I guess I'll say see you next week. But, that's a tentative. So, but I'm going to try my best. Candy's always game. She's just like, okay, we'll go on then. I'm very
All
like
right.
it.
Good
Oh,
night,
well, thank you.
everybody.
Bye, guys. See ya.